means that you excel in your health and your wealth and your relationships. You know, physical health and mental health, of course. Constantly, you'll be getting stuck at new levels, being plateaued. Not only in like the gym with your strength, your actual size, but also in your mental health, also in how much money you're making. And constantly you'll feel like you're stuck. Constantly you're going to feel like you need to break through a new plateau, through a new level. And so maybe you'll watch a bunch of videos, maybe you'll try to like journal a little bit more, maybe you'll just try to figure out what's actually wrong. And the thing is, months pass and you stay in the same place, and it's because you didn't know this. You didn't know what I'm going to talk about in this video, and my goal, my hope with this video, the reason I am making this video and actually spent so much time actually scripting this video, making sure that I had the right points that have helped me and actually really dissect what helps me break through my plateaus. The reason I made this video is because I have been in this situation that you are in right now. I have been in this kind of rut, this kind of like self-improvement kind of rut, where I am trying to actually be a high performer. I am trying to actually work better. I'm trying to make my money better, my aesthetics better, my relationships better. And I get to this point where I'm kind of either in my own head or something. I don't know. At that point, it's always different. So anytime, even if you're at the super high echelons of success, even when you are at the point where you're doing super great, even the points where, especially the points where you're doing it like super low, super bad, this video is going to be your saving grace. And my hope is that even on times where I am stuck, I'm going to look back and rewatch this very video so that I can get the advice from myself who's doing good and then start doing good again myself. Because again, there's levels to this. Just like somebody can make about like $5,000 a month, like when they're working really hard, some guy can make $30K a day. And that freaking makes your heart drop when you hear that. Like, what? Yeah. Many people of these exist, and you can actually progress, and you want to break out of those plateaus. Hope you understood what I just said. I feel like I didn't even understand what I just said right there. The first thing I want to tell you about comes with an understanding of these two people. They're very important people, extremely important people. And they run this factory in your mind. These two people are called Mr. Triumph and then also Mr. Defeat. They run the thought factory inside of your brain. Mr. Defeat, he's telling you, oh no, like that's like you're doing a bad job there. No. You're actually the pressure, the cardio feels bad. Your lungs are burning. You should just stop. And your father, he's working a shit job and it's terrible. What if you start working a shit job? What if you get stuck and you're not actually able to break out of this plateau? While Mr. Triumph is telling you, oh man, we have already built a great physique, and we can actually make this physique even better. Actually, you know what? You have good genetics. Look at your structure. Actually, you can actually fix that part, and you're doing so good. And there's this new business idea, and you should try this thing and that thing. And you know what? You're actually a good speaker, and you can actually do things, and you're convincing, and you can, and your mother is healthy, and your father he's getting healthier, and you can like look around, and you can see, oh wow, it's actually a beautiful day. And the leaves are such cool colors because it's fall. And you can look around and you can just be in a more positive state of being. And the thing is, let me question you right now. When do you make the most progress? Is it when Mr. Defeat is speaking? Or is it when Mr. Triumph is speaking? Which type of progress do you want to rely on? Do you want to actually feel like you're in pain all the time? And look, think about it in this defeatist mindset. If you feel like shit all the time, why would you try harder? You never feel tired when you're winning. And so if you always think you're winning, you're going to think thoughts for you to actually do better and win more. Do you understand this? This is why it's so important to actually have an understanding of these two people, these two employees in your mind. Because it's your factory. It's your factory. And the thing is, it's so important to understand also, it's like these guys are just, they're pumping out thoughts. You are not the thoughts. And this comes with like a lot of big understanding of like meditation and like, and that's a big part. We'll get more into that. But you need to understand, first of all, you are not these thoughts. There are just two people over here and they are working for you. And the thing is like the more attention you place on them, the more attention you place on each of them is the more work you give them. And so if you constantly think of Mr. Defeat, like what's wrong? Like what's wrong with everything? Oh, you're broke. Oh, that girl didn't look at you like when you were looking at her. oh, like you're not as much money as you don't have as much money, whatever. You have tiny shoulders on top of that. All of these things. If you keep thinking about that, you're just giving him more work, and he's going to be able to hire more employees under his division. He's going to be able to freaking like create a bigger sector over here, and Mr. Triumph has less work, and it's because you're focusing on Mr. Defeat. And so, who do you think is benefiting you more? Because you're never tired when you're winning. And meditation teaches us this. You have sides to your brain, Mr. Triumph, Mr. Defeat, and how do you actually leverage this information? Fire Mr. Defeat and promote Mr. Triumph. Of course. Because Mr. Defeat is annoying and he's persistent and he hasn't really been helping you get to your goals. He hasn't been actually allowing you to have like the confidence in your goals. He hasn't been allowing you for this. But the thing is, because he's annoying and persistent, he's always going to try to poke his head through the door, and he's like, and another thing, and your girl didn't even love you before, your ex didn't even care about you before, and she was cheating on you, by the way. And like the security is like actually like pulling him out, and he's telling him, oh no. and the thing is, if you're not paying attention to him, it's like, no, Mr. Triumph, what do you think about this? And he's saying, oh, well, it's a great day, and you know what, and now that girl that you used to be with, she wasn't really the right one for you anyways. I mean, she had some like poor qualities anyways, and yeah, you loved her, maybe you still love her, but it's like, it's just making room for other things in your life, and now you can focus more on having good relationships with your mother, with your family, with your sister, with your brother, and you can focus more on your business, and you're actually gonna make so much money, and you've been making more money, and you get excited about this because you're listening to Mr. Triumph. But now think about the alternate scenario where you're seeing Mr. Defeat peek his head through the corners, like getting freaking pulled by security. And you're hearing him getting pulled by security, and you actually look at him and you're like listening to him. Imagine what the security are going to do. If they're listening to you, if they work for you, they're gonna be like, oh, the big boss, he's actually like, he's paying attention to him. Okay, we should just let him go and let him speak to him. And now you've basically rehired Mr. Defeat, and he's working the thought factory again. He's working at the thought factory again. And then you keep looking at his opinions, even though they're not actually doing you any good. Because again, you never feel tired when you're winning. So if you are winning, if you're getting much more thoughts about progress, then you'll be out of this rut. So literally right now, and I always have this practice. Like, this is why also gratitude journaling is very, very helpful. Like, I am grateful for because of this. If you want to be a high testosterone man, a high testosterone performer, you need to give more work to Mr. Triumph through promoting him. How do you promote Mr. Triumph? Well, you've just thought in your head, okay, I fired Mr. Defeat. Now I have Mr. Triumph over here, and he gets more work done. He's promoted when I give him more attention. Mr. Triumph, what's going on in my life? Like, what do you think about my life right now? Well, you've just made more money online than you have in years, and you've been having this goal for so long, and it's such a beautiful day outside, and you are good at speaking, and so with this business opportunity, you are able to actually convey yourself, and you don't need to edit as much because you're good at speaking, and you just are getting excited. You're getting excited, and this girl, she thought you were cute. She called you Papacito or something like that, and you get excited for these things, and you're freaking massive, you know. Like, he tells you all of these things, and you get more excited about your life. And again, you never feel tired when you're you never feel tired when you're winning, and so you're going to be doing way better. When I used to listen more to Mr. Defeat, I would be filming a YouTube video, and it would come out as a 10-minute video, but I would be recording for like an hour. And I would just think, oh no, I said that sentence wrong. Oh, I know I stumbled on my words, so I need to say it again. And I would do it for like every single sentence of the video. If you go back out to like my older videos, you'll see every single sentence, there was like a cut after every single sentence. That's because I had to like pick the very best take. That's just me being fully transparent with you. And so now if I make a little mistake, Now I don't let it get to me. And if we think about the meditation example, I'll be sitting down and like I'll be meditating, and there was this one specific time where it's like I had just like, you know, gone through my first like breakup, and I was like very just you know, sad, but I was trying to make sure like, okay, I'm meditating. I'm going to make sure I have good presence. I understand that my thoughts aren't necessarily me, even though if I'm not meditating so often, my thoughts feel like me. And so I'm meditating, I'm like focusing on my breath. And I get angry. I'm 10 minutes into meditation and I'm thinking about, oh, like, why did she treat me like this? It's like all these things, like all of these little things coming up. It's Mr. Defeat talking. And the thing is, I realized like nothing changed in my surroundings. Nothing was different in my surroundings. I had literally been sitting in the same spot for like 10 minutes beforehand. And so nothing had changed, but I had gotten angry within. And so that's why it's important to think about how our thoughts come up. I did not control that thought. That thought just came up because Mr. Defeat was just working in the factory. And so I just focused back on the breath. And then, you know, later, the better thing to do is just to get randomly positive thoughts. And you get randomly positive thoughts, more of those, when you start promoting Mr. Triumph and you don't listen to Mr. Defeat. So think about what a healthy person would do. Just like rationally. A healthy person would take care of their mind. They would journal, they would meditate, they would practice gratitude. They would basically just give Mr. Triumph more work. And if you think about an unhealthy person, an unhealthy person would doubt themselves more. They would try to make everything perfect that they did because they would be afraid of imperfect action. So they would try to take perfect action and ironically take less action and make their actual action worse because they're not doing as much. And so an unhealthy person gets burnt out because they're notoriously looking at every single little thing that they're doing. While a healthy person doesn't get burnt out because they're taking imperfect action because Mr. Triumph is saying, you're doing a great job, dude. Like literally like, oh, like nobody's going to really notice that mistake and you can do better next time. And so you don't focus on all of those things. And so you end up doing better because you have all of the thoughts for success. Because you think that, okay, your product is so good. Of course people want to know about it. Of course people want to hear about it when you talk about it in your videos. Of course everybody wants to get a strong aesthetic physique. Everybody wants to have higher testosterone levels because it makes them more competitive and makes them have more thoughts of Mr. Triumph. Everybody wants to have these things, and so suddenly, like, okay, I know I have a good product. I don't need to be worried about like letting people know. Why was I worried? Why was Mr. Defeat telling me that I didn't need to tell everybody, or else it would be like cringe or something? No, I'm literally benefiting society. Just like Mr. Triumph is telling me, you're benefiting society. It's an amazing thing for you to share your product. It's an amazing thing to share your product with your friends. Of course it is. And so when you have more of these thoughts of Mr. Triumph, you end up taking better action. You take imperfect action, and action is usually the cure to all of these ruts that you are in. Ruts happen when you lose momentum, so you're stuck over here. If you had the momentum, you would have been able to go up with the same momentum that you went down. But because you lose momentum, because you're taking less action, because you're focusing on perfect action, you're taking less action because really what you need to do is imperfect action. And because imperfect action is actually the real perfect action, because action, it's still action. And you're doing more, and doing more. Speed is the cure to being in the rut, being stuck. And so don't think about that there's a lot of bad things going on. Think about the greatness that you are and that you are becoming, that you are cultivating. And so, again, I just want to like really hammer in this point. Mr. Defeat will very often, because he's a persistent motherfucker, he'll poke his head in through the door of the factory. And he'll tell you, and another thing, and you're never gonna be successful with these things. And another thing, you're I don't even know, I don't know. I can't think because Mr. Defeat's just not on that, he's just not on my wavelength, bro. And when I'm telling you, it's like, he'll still poke his head through the door. Just know that it's not you. Just know that you are working with Mr. Triumph. And he's working hard. He's doing this. And so, when you're in that state, when you are focusing on Mr. Triumph, focusing on the positives in your life, when I was at least, I made the most progress on YouTube. I made the most progress in my fitness and my relationships. And all of that always just helped me the most. And that really comes with, I want you to also have the understanding that Mr. Defeat exists for a reason, and Mr. Triumph also exists for a reason. But Mr. Defeat was more useful when we didn't have the safety, when we were in caveman times. It's like, oh no, if you go there, you're gonna freaking die because of the freaking cobra and the tiger. But now he doesn't really have as much of a use, and our brains haven't changed that much since thousands of years ago when those were real problems. Now we just need to make sure that we're more regulated and our nervous systems are more regulated so we can have better thoughts, because your nervous system literally comes up with the thoughts that bring you towards your success. That literally forces you to take the action because you know it's the right course of action. And so these parts of your brain exist for a reason. And Mr. Defeat, he might say, oh, careful with that thing because that will fail. And Mr. Triumph, the thing is, Mr. Triumph, he understands a little bit of Mr. Defeat. And so he'll tell you, oh, no, we're doing so good. We just need to be a little bit more mindful of that little bit. And so we don't need to fail on that. And we'll work hard. Mr. Triumph has the good aspects of Mr. Defeat. And so that's the really important thing. And so use the energy you have. When you are winning, win hard. Continue to win. You're never tired when you're winning. And if you're losing, you can think about the things that Mr. Defeat has been telling you to start to promote Mr. Triumph. It's like, oh, and look, you have a shit physique. Okay, yeah, you know what? You suck. Get out of here. Mr. Triumph, I have a shit physique. I'm going to work on it. Let's do it. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're going to have, you can get an aesthetic body. You can just got to get the V-taper by increasing your testosterone, all of these things. And use what you have. And it's like use what you have. And examples are these, is think about the negatives in your life and ask Mr. Triumph, what are the ways you can get out of this? Just think about the negatives sometimes and just kind of have them in the back of your mind sometimes. Think about how your parents are freaking sleep deprived and somebody's freaking bribed them to actually go to work and work a job that they don't actually find completely fulfilling. It's just a way to make money. Think about how even though you might wish that the girl that broke your heart the best, you might wish her the best. Damn right she made a mistake leaving you, because you are actually the best. And Mr. Triumph is going to help you be even better. Be pissed at that. You can be pissed at that. You have my permission to be pissed at those things, those injustices. You don't want to have this pent up energy and you're not using the energy because it feels negative. Because truthfully, that is where Mr. Defeat wins. Mr. Defeat doesn't want you to feel the pain there. He doesn't want you. He wants you to bottle it up. But Mr. Triumph is like, no, let's feel it. Let's actually use that pain because let's use what we have. Think about even the times where you don't even feel like you're a very much important member of the friend group. Think about how you just don't feel like you're at the place you want to be. But tell Mr. Triumph that. Because he will find the better part of the situation. He will find that part of the situation. And ask Mr. Triumph constantly, what do you think about this, Mr. Triumph? What do you think is the next best course of action? And he will tell you everything that will get you to your goals. And so, this was this video. I hope that it was very, very helpful. I'm sure it was helpful. This is just something I learned from my mentor. And it has served me very well. It has served me very, very well. And so, knowledge is meant to be passed down. And I want the real killers, the real, men who are working on themselves to be freaking high test and get successful in every endeavor, in their health, their wealth, their relationships, all of those things. I really want all of my men to be successful, all of my high test men to be really at the places they want to be. Because it's no life to be stuck constantly without growing. Because when you are growing, you are dying, and you can be dying mentally many, many, many times. Don't want that to happen. And so truthfully, take this to heart and don't listen to Mr. Defeat. Because when he pokes his head out through the door, he might say some things you might not like. You can't control that thought. But you can focus on how Mr. Triumph is leading you. You can focus on that. You can take the imperfect action, because the imperfect action is the best action. So, for that, if you want to see more videos from a small, unconventional YouTuber, which is me, then subscribe to this channel and put on the freaking post notifications. I don't hear any YouTubers saying, turn on the freaking post notifications. Dude, if you want to actually like have more just actually, you know what? If you're on that season in your life where you're making a bunch of money, don't even have the notifications. But if you are at the point where you need just that little pickup, if you need that pickup for you to actually get more success, a YouTuber like me that actually is focusing on giving you a better life, because giving, in my head, giving as much as possible, you end up just getting like back in some way. Like, I need to provide for my family, I need to make money for my family, and Mr. Triumph is telling me that I'm doing a great job and I'm doing good, and I'm giving a lot of value to you. So yeah, just subscribe to my channel, bro. Support me. Of course. I'll support you too. Alright, and by the way, thanks for all of the guys that have been watching me for like years and like watch every upload. Like, from the bottom of my heart, like, you guys, I have so much love for you guys, and I send you guys like so much positivity for you guys to succeed. I want you guys to succeed so much. I'm so grateful for you guys. So anyways, have a good one. Listen to Mr. Triumph. Fire Mr. Defeat. Promote Mr. Triumph through your attention. Bye-bye, bro.